What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is October the 10th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers, CPI data, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, you did have two data points, CPI, so both on a month-over-month and year-over-year basis. It was higher, and as well, initial jobless claims was higher. Both data points not necessarily the best, and so this is where I think us going into CPI data was more of a losing scenario, because based on the Fed speaker yesterday, he did state that if, for instance, CPI was lower, then it wouldn't really justify any future rate cuts. If anything, they'll keep it the same. But now with it higher as well, it doesn't really justify any rate cuts. So it's kind of one of those sticky scenarios. And as a byproduct, you have the futures very much down. You can kind of see it was very optimistic, and then all hell broke loose. So NASDAQ is down currently 0.52, S&P down 0.3, and Dow is down 0.25. So today should be a not the best day, all in all. But in the past, whenever the market does sell off like this, usually the second half it kind of recovers. We'll just have to wait and see though. Fear and greed index is under the greed category still. So in theory, people's appetite for risk is on the table, and that's somewhat resemblant based on what I'm going to talk on. But just generally, I always like to look at the true data behind the scenes, because there's one thing looking at this, it's another looking at this. So essentially on a month over month, it did go up 0.2, as you can kind of see, but the energy did go down 1.9. So that does mean that the other basket items did in fact go up a little bit higher. And so yeah, that makes the data kind of a little bit worse, not the best, of course. And this is why the Feds like to look at, for instance, PCE, not CPI, because CPI is very much heavily weighted on energy and food. So again, this is not the best data. But aside from that though, Sofi is pulling back. No actual news, just because of the recent CPI. Nothing to do with Sofi itself, but shorts are kind of all over it. And so 16.96% of the free float is being shorted. So I was really anticipating them to be rather quiet up until today. So we'll just have to wait and see what does come. But right now with it at $8.53, it is trading between this R1 and R2. So 839 is going to be the strong support, and then 881 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. And then in between, you'll have that psychological 850. And on a side note, there is a lot of options in the money options for calls at the 850 strike price. So shorts do have a financial interest in bringing it below 850, so you might see them rather active. Oddly, Faraday. So I do cover this one under my channel, this one, Trending Stocks, and they did put out some pretty good news yesterday. So I kind of covered this in a video, dedicated video. And yeah, it's good. I think there's still a lot of grayness, but this news did come out yesterday, so it's not really new today. But despite that though, you are seeing a abnormal amount of volume. If anything, surprisingly, Faraday is the most heavily traded stock pre-market. So something's up. In the past, it has had a very nice squeeze, but we'll just have to wait and see what does come. At the same time, Palantir did also take a position in Faraday. It's kind of a sticky scenario as well, because Faraday technically owes Palantir, so it might just be because of that, them giving shares. I thought, from my understanding, it was supposed to be cash, but maybe they just gave shares instead. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. As far as this, it does indicate 33.1% of the free float is being shorted. I do feel that dilution has been occurring, so that might not necessarily be the most accurate, but with it at $2.76, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 403 will be the next strong resistance / target. 258 will be the strong support. So yeah, Faraday showing some signs of life, which is always a good thing. And conveniently, speaking on Palantir, Palantir is getting a abnormal amount of volume as well. And so they did put this out yesterday. So in reality, they're doing a lot. And I think that there's a certain level of FOMO happening with this company, which somewhat is justified. Some people see it as crazy expensive, but still not willing to really short it or double down on it because, yeah, just generally over the last 1 month, it is up 29.44%. So yeah, it's on a very impressive run. And as of right now, it's only down 0.42, so it's actually recovering fairly well. So it is at 43 right now. So with that, it is trading between this R2 and R3. So 43.78 will be the next strong resistance / target, and then $40.39 is going to be the next strong support. And with Palantir, the last 2 days, I believe they've hit a new all-time high both days. So it's on a very good run, and it seems to want to recover today. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts. Delta did miss on their earnings slightly, revenue, but it is down not that bad all in all. And based on this, it is somewhat heavily shorted. So 5.39% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 34.39 million shares. But generally, you can kind of see how shorts have really doubled down. So the low was around 2% in May, and then where it is now. So shorts have really felt the fear, despite the good data that's been coming out showing that consumers are out there earning the money, making the money, and stuff like that. Right now with it at $50 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 52.43 will be the next strong resistance / target, and then 48 will be the strong support. And just to go over this, just to see what happened so far pre-market. So it looks like it had a low of roughly 47, and then it has recovered since then. So yeah, a very, very interesting play. And then aside from that, Tesla, this is the big day for Tesla. A lot of people have been waiting several months for today. So the robo-taxi, and as far as I know, I'm not really actually sure exactly what time it does come out, but nonetheless, last several trading days, there's been a very much abnormal amount of bullish options being placed on Tesla. So a lot of people have some high expectations. Right now with it at 242 though, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 224 will be the strong support, and then 245 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. In my opinion, I feel like Tesla could easily be back in the 250s very, very fast. But what do I know? So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Take advantage of this promo. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So you might as well get some free stock. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.